friends, welcome back to the session. So in the previous session we have seen about the relations, we have seen about the what is the class diagram, what is the object. Okay, so let us go for the next one is the class responsibility collaborator, which shortcutly we can call as CRC. Okay, so let us go for the previous slides. What we have seen. Okay, so how to specify the attributes, how to analyze the classes we have seen in the previous session. Okay, so how to analysis. Okay, so why we came to this topic is, so what is a class? Before relationship we have the, so what is the data objects and what is the data modeling concepts. Okay, so these are the topics, data modeling concepts we have focused on the what is the data. Okay, so for the data, so what is the different modeling concepts? So for that we have given the entity relationship diagram. Okay, so and then later, so data objects. What are the data objects? In the data objects we have said, okay, so what is the thing, what is the occurrence, what is event. So these are the things we have the thought. So what is about the data objects? How, what is data? So what is the attributes? What are the different relationship between them? Okay, and later then, so how we can represent the relations between the two objects. So person is the object, car is an object. Okay, and next in class-based modeling we have seen some of the collaborations. What are those collaborations? What are the class-based model? Include some classes. What is that in class-based model? We have seen some of the classes. What are those? So once again, so in class-based modeling, so the collaborations, the objects, what is the relationship between the objects, what is the relationship between the collaborations. Okay, so in order to define the elements of a class-based model, so what are the elements in the class-based model? In that we have seen classes. In the previous session we have seen the classes, we have seen what is the object, what is the class, and what is the diagram for that, how the class diagram is represented. So what are the attributes? So what we call the attributes, and what are the operations? So what is the operation? So how operations are represented in a class diagram. So now we are going to the topic is CRC, class responsibility collaborator, that is the CRC models. So we are going to this element of the class-based modeling. Okay, class responsibility collaborator. In short, we call as a CRC. Okay, so then later after we go for the collaboration diagrams and packages. So this is the topic now we are going to see. So I think you people remember about all these things. So what is the class diagram, how to represent them, what are the operations. So this is the class diagram, so these are the operations, these are the attributes. Okay, so next topic is class responsibility collaborator. So that is about the previous session what we have discussed. So now coming to this session. So in this session we will see about the what is class collaboratory modeling. Okay, so let us see that. So class responsibility collaborator, so in shortcut we call as a CRC. Okay, so modeling provides, so this is one type of modeling. So we have seen this is a one type of elements of the class diagram. So provides a simple means for identifying and organizing the classes that are relevant to a system or product requirements. So whatever the in CRC, in simple form, it means what is the CRC is, it identify, so and organize the classes, it identify the classes. What are the classes? Classes means, I have said that some grouping of attributes and operations is a class. Okay, set of operations, set of attributes. So and organizing those classes that are relevant to system or product requirements. For example, ATM. So ATM is a one class. Okay. So user interacting with the ATM. So user interacting with the ATM is a performance. Okay. ATM has some attributes. ATM has some functions. So then class is the ATM. So we have to recognize the what is the class. Okay. So what are the relevant to that system? So what is relevant to the system and product requirements according to the software. So according to the software, which is relevant to that, so which is a relevant system, relevant to the system. According to that, what are the attributes we have to consider? What are the operations we have to consider? So in order to identify and organize the classes. Okay, and next coming to So Ambler is one of the contributor. Is the contributor. So Ambler is one of the contributor. So he describes this CRC, this class responsibility collaborator, the CRC modeling in the following way. Okay, so different contributors are giving the different ways of simplifying the software product development. So what are those? Let us see. So Ambler. So a CRC model is really a collection of standard index cards. That means, so whatever the models we are using, so these models are used to represent the class. Okay, so in order to identify the class, in order to organize the class. So if the modeling is went wrong, the way of production construction will also be wrong. Okay, so that is the reason. A CRC model is really a collection of standard index cards. So it is a standard index cards. So underline this line, this is the index cards. Okay, so what this index cards represents? This index cards represent the classes. So what we said in CRC we have seen that, so it organizes and it identify the classes. So those identify the classes is in the way of index cards. So in your textbooks you have the index. What is the index? So it gives some reference to your at what page, what is the heading is there, what heading is referred to in what page. So that is the index. So table contents or different figures. So where they are in the textbook. So it gives some page numbers. Like that, it is some index cards. It is a CRC is nothing but is a collection of index cards. So what is this index cards is? It represents the classes. So index cards contain only the classes. The cards are divided into three sections. Whatever the index cards, these are divided into three sections. What are those? So along the top of the card, you write the name of the class. So if you have the class C program, so class, some class name. Here you will use some class name. So then you will write some code. Okay, like that. So along the top of the card, you write the name of the class. So for the class, whatever the class you are representing, you will give the some name that is called as a class name. You know this point. In the body of the card, you list the class responsibilities on the left and the collaborators on the right. So whatever the class responsibilities, that means for example class add. So addition of the two numbers. So what you will do? So what are the variables you have to take? What are the variables you will take? So what is the data type of the variables? So variables is nothing but int A. So int is a data type. A is a variable. So int A is equal to 10. Int B is equal to 20. Int C. So you don't use some value. So you will write some function. So that is this point. Okay. And next coming to the CRC model may make use of actual or virtual index cards. So it is actual. Actual means real. Virtual means it's a duplicate. Not duplicate, we can't say imagination. Okay. So the CRC model is mainly made up of two types. One is the actual and virtual index cards. So the intent is to develop an organized representation of classes. So why we are using this CRC is the main intent, the main usability of the CRC is to identify the classes, to represent the classes. Because why I am saying like this is, so for example, this marker, okay, this smartboard marker. So I want to make this smartboard marker with some modifications. So I want to write the program for this. So in order to write the program for this, what I have to do? I have to write some programming code. So for that code, so what is the class? I have to identify. For that purpose, this CRC model is identified. Okay. And next, so responsibilities. So what are the responsibilities? We have seen the class responsibility collaborator. So we have seen up to now class. What is the responsibility? Next, going to the next point is the responsibility. So what is the responsibility? So responsibility are the attributes and operations that are relevant for the class. So responsibility is nothing but attributes and operations. So attributes is nothing but variables. Whatever the variable declaration we will do in a class diagram. Variables. And next, operations, that means functions. The functions that you represent. So that are relevant for the class. For addition, for example, adding of two numbers in C language. What you people do? Class, some class name, add. Okay, so then you write some programming. So what you will write? You will what we can say? You will variables. You will declare the variables. So you will declare the data types for that. So and you will write some function. Function is nothing but like add. So void add or int add, whatever it is, whatever the return type it is, add. So this is the functions. So we can call as the operations. So the name with the braces, open braces. I think you people know about this point. Okay, operations that are relevant for the class. So whatever the class I am using, because so this is a small program. That's why you will go going for the adding is a function. So for developing of a software product, for developing of a product or system, so there will be so many of the classes. So which class functions, which class variables have to be used. So we have to aware of all these things. So that's the reason it's go for the that are relevant for that class. So that is a responsibility is anything the class knows others. So the responsibility. So whatever the relative things regarding the class for this class. Okay, anything the class knows or does. So that is called as a responsibility. And next one is the collaborators. So we have seen the class, responsibility, and last one is the collaborator in CRC, the meaning of CRC. So collaborators are nothing but, so these are also the classes, okay, that are required to provide a class with information needed to complete a responsibility. So whatever the responsibility, that means in order to complete this responsibility, the functions, the variables, whatever declared, so you will write as a main program. So without a main program, you can't be able to do the remaining class program. So that program will not execute. When it will execute, if you write the main for that main program. Okay, first the main, void main or int main, whatever it is. For Java, you will write public static void main. So without the main, the program will not execute. So that is a collaborator. Okay. And next. So this is the simple CRC model. Okay, a CRC model index card. So I have said that Ambler contributor has given the classes CRC model as an index card. So for that index card, so these are the things. So this is the one index card, and this is one index card, and this is one index card, and this is one index card. Like the different index cards. Why we are taking the different index cards means because so the software means it has so many of the classes. So for each class it will take the one index card. So that is the main purpose. So it will be first class name. So after the class name, this is the responsibility. So what is the responsibility of this class? So this is a class of floor plan. Okay. So this is the responsibility. So what is this? This defines the floor plan name or type. So what type of floor? Whether you are doing with the marble, whether you are doing with the some stone, whatever that thing. So manages the floor plan positioning. So in what position I have to do? It is a 4x4 or it is in a square or it is in a rhombus. So different shapes will be available. Next, scales the floor plan for display. So what scaling is? So how much length you are taking, like that. So next is scales the floor plan for display. So display is a different two things. We can display in any way, in 3D manner or 2D manner, whatever it is. So next, incorporates walls, doors and windows. So if you build a floor like this, how the walls, how the windows, how the doors can be constructed. And next, show position of video cameras. So whatever we require for that class, whatever we require for that software product, so we have to write down all the responsibilities. And here, so the collaborators. So in order to represent these responsibilities, we have to use the collaborator. Okay. So this is the small single CRC index card. We call this as an index card. And next coming to so classes. So let us go further. We have seen that we have the three types of three sections. So okay. So first one is the classes. So what is a class? The taxonomy of class can be extended by considering the following categories. Okay, so the class can be defined in the following categories. The first one is the entity class. Class is to subdivide. This is a subdivision of the classes. So entity classes. So what is these entity classes? So these entity classes are called as a model or business classes. We can also call as a business classes. So I extracted directly from the statement of the problem. So whatever the statement of the problem given by the user, from that these classes will be derived. So these are called as the entity classes. And next, these classes typically represent the things that are to be stored in database. So in order to, while developing of the software product, we have to maintain some database. So in data, for example, website. So for that website, so what in database has to be stored? What are the things we have to store in the databases? For that, this entity classes, entity relationship diagram we have seen in the previous session. So those diagrams will be drawn from this entity classes. Okay. And next coming to boundary classes. And second one is the boundary classes. So what are the boundary classes? So these are used to create the interface. What interface? That the user sees and interacts with as the software is used. So how the software, whatever the software we are developing, how that one interfaces the user. Interfacing is nothing but how to use the system or how to face the system by the user. Okay. So for example, I developed one software. So that software, how the system, the user will interact with it. For what purposes he will interact with it. So how the system, that software will faces the user. So like that. Okay. So boundary classes are designed with the responsibility of managing the way entity objects are represented to the users. So the boundary classes, what you are representing, so they are designed for the responsibilities. We have seen the responsibilities in the as an index card. Okay. So with the responsibility of managing the way of entity objects. So entity objects is nothing but previously we have seen the entity classes. So in that entity classes, whatever the objects are there, so in order to represent that, in order to provide the responsibilities for those entity classes, these boundary classes will be used. Okay. And next coming to controller classes. So up to now we have seen entity classes, boundary classes. So the third one is the controller classes. Okay. So these controller classes manage a unit of work from start to finish. So unit of work, that means for example website. Website is divided into some units, front end, back end. So apart from the front end, back end, so in front end also it will be divided into subdivisions. So that is called as a unit. Okay. So controller classes will manage the unit of work. That means it will manage on the one type of one part. So from start to finish, from starting of the point to the finishing of the product, not product of that unit. Okay, so one particular unit, for example, database creation. Okay, that is a one type of unit of work. So for the database creation, from the starting onwards up to finish, since this controller classes will manage. Okay, controller classes can be designed to manage. So why they are designed is, the first point is the creation or updation of entity objects, whatever the entity objects are there, in order to create and update. And next, the second point is the initiation of boundary objects as they obtain information from entity objects. So from the objects, whatever the information they got, okay, we have to create some boundary. We have to create some initiation. Initiation is nothing but at particular point, what is the variable it is going to create. And next, third point is complex communication between set of objects. So there is a communication between the objects. For example, if you know about the Java programming is the communication will be done with the objects only. For every class you will create some object. Without creating the object, the class will not upload into the hard memory of the hard disk. Okay. And next, fourth point is validation of data communicated between the objects or between the user and the application. So you have to validate the data communicated. So for example, in the login page, whatever the variables I am giving, whether it is transferring to the database or not, whether it is storing in the backend or not, I have to check. So in general, controller classes are not considered until the design activity has begun. So these controller classes plays an important role when the design phase of the system, when the design phase of the software product development started. At that time, these controller classes will be managed. Okay. So whereas entity and boundary classes in the designing, not in the designing phase, they are in the requirement analysis part, planning part. And next, so next one is the responsibilities. Okay, so what are the responsibilities? I have said the CRC. CRC in C is for classes, R is for the responsibilities. Okay, so some more contributors has given some more definition for the responsibilities. What are those? Let us see. So responsibilities. Waves broke. So these are the two scientists. I mean, two contributors of the software engineering. So and have colleagues. So their colleagues suggest 5 guidelines for allocating responsibilities to classes. They suggested some 5 responsibilities. Okay, what are the to classes 5? What 5? So what are they? Let us see. So first one is a system intelligence. Okay, and next. So each responsibility should be stated as generally as possible. So these are the 2 statements. So first is the system intelligence. What is system intelligence? So why we are going for the system intelligence? So this should be distributed across the classes to best address the needs of the problem. So what is the problem of the product? Why we are developing the software product? So what is the previous problem in that existed one? So we have to know. So that is this first point. Okay, and next one is each responsibility should be stated as generally as possible. That means whatever the responsibilities is nothing but one of the statement which is used to connect the class and objects. Okay, so in order to connect the classes and objects, we will go for the responsibilities. So whatever the responsibility we are stating, so it should be in a general possible way. So in the previous diagram, we have seen in the next cards, we have seen the responsibilities. Okay, so they are in simple terms like that. These guidelines implies that general responsibility should reside high in the class hierarchy. So whatever the responsibilities we are presenting, so that is represented in the hierarchy way. That means one class can use the another. So hierarchy is nothing but class A, class B. So whatever the responsibilities are represented in class A can be used in the class B, can be used in the class A, like that. In the hierarchy way we can represent. And next. So information and the behavior related to the should reside within the same class. So behavior related means whatever the variables you are declaring, whatever the functions you are declaring, that should be in same that one class. So this achieves by using this point, what it is achieving is object-oriented principle. I think you people know about the OOPS concept. So object-oriented programming. So this concept is achieved by this point. That means like a encapsulation. So whatever the data you are using in the class, that should not be go out. Okay. And next, fourth point is information about one thing should be localized within a single class, not distributed across multiple classes. So whatever the information you are sharing, so it should be localized within a single class. So in the hierarchy way, what I said in class A, whatever the things you represented, you can use in the B or C, whatever it is. Okay, but sometimes you're not able to use all the things. Okay, so a single class should take on responsibility for storing and manipulating a specific type of information. So you will declare so many of the variables. Only particular variable only represented by the one class. Okay. Apart from that, you can take some more variables to represent the other classes. Okay. So that is this point. And next, fifth point is responsibility should be shared among related classes when appropriate. So in the hierarchy, we have given some whatever the class A has, it can be shared with the class B or class A or class D, whatever it is. Okay. So when it is shared is when it can be able to apply. At that time, you can share the variables of one class to another class. So there are many cases in which a variety of related objects must all exhibit the same behavior at the same time. That is operator overloading. So this is a concept. So these are concepts available in the object-oriented programming. Operator overloading. Okay, and next. So associations and dependence. So up to now we have completed the CRC. Next coming to the associations and dependencies. So what is the association? What is dependencies? So without the association and dependencies, the class diagram can't be drawn. So in order to represent the between two classes, so the association and dependencies are most important, plays an important role. So an association defines a relationship between the classes. So what I said, so in order to draw the class diagram, association plays an important role. So it defines the relationship between the two or more classes. So an association may be further defined by indicating multiplicity. So it mainly defined by indicating the multiplicity. So multiplicity means number of times. So multiplicity defines how many of one class are related to how many of another class. That means one to many. One to many relationship. Okay. That is the association. So for example, for that, a client-server relationship exists between two analysis classes. So here the example is giving the client-server model. Okay. In client-server model, so in such cases, a client class. So client class always depends upon the server class because client is ours. We are our clients. For example, Flipkart. So Flipkart is a one site.